Hi, I'm Jane Heller from Swiss Made Fudge, and today I'm going to show you how to make fudge at home on a marble slab. But we're going to do something a little different with it. We're going to form it into a little fudge cake that would make a great gift for Mother's Day. So to start off with, I have 2 cups of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of whole milk, a 1/4 cup of corn syrup, 4 ounces of unsweetened chocolate, 2 tablespoons of butter, and of course vanilla. So to start off with, I'm going to pour in the whole milk. Into that I will add 2 cups of granulated sugar. And I'm going to stir this in and add the corn syrup, 1/4 cup, and my 2 tablespoons of butter. Very important step is you want to wash down the sides of your pan with a pastry brush dipped in water. It's important to remove any sugar crystals that might have washed up along the side of the pan. Okay, now I'm going to turn this on medium-high. I'm going to bring it to a boil and insert my candy thermometer. This is not something you can eyeball. You need to cook it exact. We're cooking it to a temperature of 238 degrees, which is the softball stage for candy. So the fudge has reached 238 degrees. So the next thing I'm going to do is sprinkle my slab with a little bit of water. This will also help prevent the evaporation process causing sugar crystals to form. So now I'll pour the fudge just very slowly, and it'll spread fairly evenly over my slab. I know you kind of have the feeling like it's going to pour off the edge, but it really doesn't. It moves pretty slowly. All right. And now I'm going to sprinkle it with just a little bit more water, again, to prevent the evaporation and the cause of sugar crystals forming. Now I have my chopped up chocolate, which I'm going to sprinkle over the top of the candy and just let it melt in. I really prefer to do it this way because I think the fudge will set up much quicker this way. You won't have to let it sit for 2 hours before you take it out of the little molds that we have ready here to shape our little fudge cakes. So now we're just going to let this cool briefly, just long enough so that when I push my finger into the candy, it will leave a little indentation. And this will be just enough time to let the chocolate melt into the candy. And then we'll start to mix it. Now the fudge is cooled. It's been about 2 to 3 minutes. As you can see, when I put my finger in, it just leaves a slight indentation. It still feels warm to the touch, and my chocolate has melted in. So now I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm ready to mix. I just have a little scraper here, and I just start on the outside and work my way into the middle. You can also do this process using a mixer, but I just really prefer to do it on a marble slab. It gives the fudge an opportunity to cool better because it's not in a small container. It's more spread out onto the slab. And plus it gives me a better idea to see where I'm at in the mixing process. Because if you mix it too long, your fudge is going to set up right on your slab. So you need to be able to control it somewhat. So since we're going to be molding it, I am just going to immediately start to put it into my molds here. The nice thing about chocolate fudge is because of the chocolate liquor in the chocolate itself, the cocoa butter content and the cacao of the chocolate, it will really set up quite easily as it cools. And by chocolate liquor, sometimes people hear that and they think there's alcohol in the chocolate, but chocolate liquor just refers to chocolate in its most natural, unsweetened state. And we can use unsweetened chocolate in the fudge because we have added quite a bit of sugar to it, and that sweetens it in itself. So now I have filled my molds, and as you can see, my fudge is setting already. So what I have left here, I'm just going to form into a loaf. So I'll have some for my family to enjoy. And then I have my molds ready to go for the fudge cake. So I'm just going to clean these up a little bit. Now as you can see, this sets up very quickly, which is great when you want to mold it like this. And I have greased the molds so that they would come off easily. So there are my little cakes. Now the next thing I'm going to do is tier these. So I have some sanding sugar that I'm going to sprinkle on top for a little decoration. Just a simple sanding sugar. Clean up my hands here. So we'll just sprinkle a little sanding sugar on here. And you can press it in a little bit. So there's one layer. And we'll put this one on top. And sprinkle a little more sugar. It just makes kind of a nice decoration on top. And then our final layer with some more sugar. And there you have it. A nice individual fudge cake for your mother for Mother's Day, or anybody else special on your list.